I didn't come to Cologne for the cathedral. I came for something else entirely, and I had a few hours to spare. So I went for a walk and stumbled into a line that stretched down the whole side of the church. Nobody around me could tell me what it was for, so I joined it, not knowing it would lead me into the most unforgettable hour of the whole trip. Hey everyone, welcome back to Life in Moments. Today, I'm taking you to Cologne, one of Germany's most beautiful cities, home to a cathedral so breathtaking it stops people in their tracks. It's a place where 700 years of history stand right in the middle of everyday life. And honestly, it took my breath away. I don't chase the postcard shots here. I just follow the day and see where it decides to take me. And some of the best days are the ones you never planned at all. This one started with a couple of free hours in a city I was only passing through and ended somewhere I really didn't see coming. I'll keep the practical stuff short today. Times, tickets, the things actually worth knowing before you go. I'll point you to all of it near the end. For now, let's just walk. It was one of those hot summer days where the whole city moves a little slower. Football was on, jerseys everywhere, national colors, people spilling out of the cafes with a drink, eyes glued to the screens. There's an energy to a city during a big tournament. You can feel it before you understand it. I wasn't headed anywhere in particular. I passed under this huge stone arch, one of the old gates that used to guard the city centuries ago, and just kept filming, letting the streets pull me along. And then I turned onto a small square, and it stopped me completely. Because on a day this hot, this was exactly where everyone wanted to be. A little fountain in the middle, a cafe off to the side, a few chairs in the shade. And the kids had completely taken over, splashing in the water, running through the cool streams, screaming with that kind of joy you kind of forget adults are even capable of. The grown-ups just sat back in the shade and let them have it. Nobody was rushing anywhere. Nobody was on their phone. This is the part of travel nobody photographs. And honestly, it's the part I remember most. From there, the city pulls you into its shopping streets, and they are alive. Traffic humming past, cars, trams gliding right through the crowds, everyone in motion. And it's not tourists, it's locals just going about their day. In and out of shops, meeting friends, carrying bags, living their ordinary afternoon. And then, around a corner, street musicians. Just feel this for a second. That's the sound of a city that isn't performing for anyone. It's just living. And the shops, I've honestly never seen a mix like it. One window stacked with little figurines, packed full of every kind of sweet you can imagine. Right next door, souvenirs and a life-size Batman standing guard by the door. It's random. It's a little wild. And it's exactly the kind of thing you'd walk straight past if you were rushing to the next landmark. But there was one landmark I couldn't put off any longer. So I finally turned toward the thing this whole city is built around, and it does not ease you in. And then you come out of the narrow streets, and it hits you all at once. I actually stopped walking. I think I stopped breathing for a second, because nothing prepares you for the size of it. Photos lie to you. It's taller than you can hold in your eyes. 2 black towers clawing up into the sky, so high you have to lean back just to find the top. And it's old. Not old like a building, old like a mountain. 600 years of hands laid this stone, one generation after another, most of them knowing they'd never live to see it finished. You can feel that when you stand under it. All that time, pressing down on you. It makes you feel very small. And somehow, in a good way, when I first walked up, it was calm, a fountain running quietly off to one side, sunlight catching the carvings. So I did the only thing that made sense. I walked all the way around it, and every single side stops you again. The doors taller than a house, saints carved into stone, staring down at you. The whole thing worn smooth where millions of hands have touched it. Around the back, by the station, people just sat on the steps in the sun, not rushing anywhere, just being near it. I got it completely. And then I came back around to the front, and everything had changed. That calm entrance from 20 minutes ago, gone, in its place. A line running the entire length of the cathedral. So, of course, I got in it. Here's what I love about traveling with no plan. I had no idea what this line was for, but a lot of people wanted in, and that was enough for me. Standing there, I tried to figure it out. Turns out there was a concert inside, and you needed a ticket. So I tried to book one, right there in the queue. Filled everything in, and the confirmation just never came to my email. Nothing. By the time I reached the doors, I'd basically given up. But then they told me, get in the other line, the one for people without tickets. And that's when I found out how this actually works. What happened next is the reason I'm even showing you the inside of this cathedral. They let everyone with a ticket in first. Then they waited, and if seats were left over, they let the rest of us fill them. A whole crowd of tourists stood there hoping, most of them, like me, who'd never even heard about this concert. And I got in. It was free. Inside, a full choir, instruments, sound climbing up into a ceiling that just disappears into the dark. Every seat taken, completely still. And I'll be honest with you, because that's the deal we have. The music itself wasn't really my thing. I didn't stay long, people were seated, and I didn't want to move around and disturb anyone. So I filmed just a little. But standing at the back, under 700 years of stone, with those voices filling all that space, that I won't forget. Sometimes the moment isn't about whether you loved it. It's about where you were standing when it happened. A few honest things before you go. Quick, so we don't waste the daylight. The cathedral is open to visitors most of the day, but services and concerts can close it off without warning, so don't build your whole afternoon around one exact hour. And a heads up, after almost 800 years of free entry, they've just started charging tourists to go inside, so that's changed. If you want the famous view from the tower, that's over 500 steps, no elevator. And the best photo of the whole cathedral? You get it from across the river, not the front square. I've put the rest, the timings, the tickets, the little things I wish I'd known, on a page on my site, so I'm not reading a list at you here. Scan the code on screen or grab the link in the description. It's all there whenever you need it. I came to Cologne for something else entirely. I ended up chasing kids' laughter around a fountain, standing in a line I didn't understand, listening to music rise up inside a cathedral I'll never forget. And somewhere in those few unplanned hours, I did exactly what everyone who comes here ends up doing. I fell in love with Cologne Cathedral, and with the whole quiet, beautiful city standing around it. That's the thing about the hours you don't plan. You rarely get what you came for. Sometimes you get something better, a day that just happens to you. If you felt even a little of what I felt standing under those towers, then you and I travel the same way. And you belong here. Subscribe, come with me. There's a whole world left out there, and it's so much better when we feel it together. I'll see you in the next one.